In the fall of 2022, I made a video saying goodbye to bullet journaling after 6-ish years. One of my biggest reasonings for saying goodbye to the bullet journaling system, despite the fact that I do love it and still use elements of it today in different ways, is because I had grown to need a system that would actually allow me to find materials easily, find the information that I'm looking for like that. Although I think there is a time and place for using paper and pen because that is my one true love, I do think 2023 is going to be the year where I really focus and figure out my digital organization system. And I'm starting off with Notion, the organization app that I feel like has been all over YouTube, all over my TikTok For You page, all over the internet. I've been trying out Notion for the past couple of months, but I really want to get serious and more intentional with the way I'm putting things together. So I'm going to show you what I've done and also walk you through how I'm going to make my 2023 work goals / work life dashboard. If you've never heard of Notion before, it is a free application. You can access it online. There's apps for your phone, for your desktop. There are paid options as well, but you can do a majority of what you need to do in the free version. And the way I like to describe it is like a Word version of Excel. With Notion, you can write, you can make lists, you can make trackers, tables, you can embed links for videos and images. You can really do everything that you can do in a bullet journal within Notion. But everything is digitalized, which means organizing where things go is much more simple than it is with like a physical bullet journal. You can use the search function to find things that you're looking for like that. And just the overall aesthetic of it, of the platform, is very clean. You can really customize it with colors and images and go crazy, or you can go for a more minimalistic look. It's really up to you. So as you can tell, a lot of these things I'm saying, again, like mirror what I love about bullet journaling, is it can be a real custom experience. I've been using it for a couple months now, and I will say that as much as I love the tool, there is a bit of a learning curve to it. So I feel like those last couple of months has just been me getting familiar with the different functionality aspects to it. It takes a bit to understand how it can all click together, and I do think, you know, watching Notion videos can be helpful for that, but just getting in it and testing it out yourself gets you familiar with how things work. One of the things that's getting me so excited about using Notion in 2023 is just the ability for me to really separate my life and work plans, but also have them in one place. And not just plans, but like information that I need. I've been reading Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte, and the whole concept of this concept of the second brain is that you have a digital place to put down everything and any important information that you get. This ranges from, yes, work stuff, but like in life, when you're reading a book and there's like a quote that you really like, jotting that down. Watching a movie or a documentary and seeing a clip you really like, putting that down. Insurance information, what bills you have to pay, the number for your favorite plumber. Like all of this can exist or should exist somewhere so that it's not all stuck in here. I'm only about 1/3 of the way into this book, but what Tiago really argues is that this is a way to make your future life easier. If you're always thinking about your future self when you're putting this information into your second brain, it frees up a lot of mental capacity for other things. Once I read this book, I think I'm going to do a whole video about it because I'm fascinated by what he's talking about in this one. But for now, let's get into my current Notion situation. We'll start with my 2023 life dashboard. I'll take you through what I've got going so far, and then together we'll do my work one. You can see how I go from nothing to something. One of the great things about Notion is that you can create templates or pages customized by yourself, or you can use a pre-made template. And to explore the templates, you just go to the bottom left, and there's tons of them right here for all kinds of things. I love particularly scrolling all the way down and going to the more from the community section. And there you can see tons of templates are created, not just by Notion, but other creators. Some are paid, some are free. I'll be talking about some of the ones that I used in my setup today, but lots to explore there if you don't want to actually format this yourself. Welcome to my Notion so far. As you can see on the left side of the dashboard, I have all of my different pages. I'm not going to go into all of these today. You can kind of see for the most part what I've got going on here. We'll get into some of them. So let's start off with the 2023 life dashboard. I'm probably going to be making tweaks to this. I most definitely actually will be making tweaks to this. But the first thing that I have here is my goals for 2023. I haven't written all my goals down for my personal life because there are some that I'm still trying to finalize. But one of my life goals is to read 52 books a year, 12 of those 52 being nonfiction books, so a nonfiction book a month. I want to restructure my closet and I want to do some daily journaling. So bringing journaling really back into my life in a way where I can just express myself and work through some mental energy, but being less so about planning, because I'm using Notion and a lot of other digital tools for more of my day-to-day planning. I'm also going to be experimenting with some pre-made planners, as I've already kind of done with the productivity planner. So I'm really open to exploration, and that's actually my word of the year for 2023 is exploration. The word of the year concept has really been building up in popularity over the years, and I think it's such a great approach to go for the beginning of a year, because sometimes setting goals or New Year's resolutions, just you're not always like in the space to start those goals. And I'm a firm believer that you don't need to wait for a specific date to set life goals or work goals. You can start whenever. I don't think it necessarily has to be at the beginning of the year. I like doing a little check-in at the beginning of the year because it just helps recenter me, but word of the year is a little less intense but still very intentional. And exploration to me says I'm gonna be, you know, open to trying new things and being curious and bringing in some just variety into my life, because I think that is such a spice of life, variety. So exploration feels right for 2023. When it comes to building a page, you can add in a lot of different elements into a page, and the elements you can see by pressing the dash symbol. Add a text box, a page, a to-do list, a heading, a table, a bulleted list, a numbered list, a quote, a divider, a link to a page, a call out. So many things, truly. But one of my favorite things to use is a database, and a database allows you to organize information within a page in a really smart way. So instead of just making a table, which this goal setting, life goals area looks like it's just a basic table, it's actually a database. So what that means is for my read 52 books a year goal, I can press this little button here, open, and it opens another page where I can do more detailed plans. I'm a big believer in taking big goals and breaking them super down into small little steps that are much easier to achieve. I got that concept from Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is one of my favorite books for habits. So for example, reading 52 books a year means one book a week. One book a week. I could go even further and break this down into read 20 pages a day. Same here, I could be like read 10 pages a day. The more unusual a goal is for you, I think the more you can benefit from breaking it down. But as you may know, if you follow my channel, I read all the time. So I'm not going to break it down that specifically for this goal. And then I can just close it and I'm back to my dashboard. You can also create tags, and these tags can be whatever you want it to be. For example, right now I just have a not started tag on all of these, but if I were to start, I could go to in progress. And this is where it gets interesting. I can filter my database view by seeing only certain information. So if I had a huge amount of goals, the laundry list of goals, which I probably don't recommend doing, but if that were the case, I could press tag and I could just see the goals I have in progress. It doesn't really matter for this database as much because there's a few goals on here. I'm gonna fill it up a little bit more. But for anything where there's a lot of information, that makes it really simple to go through your chart. Okay, and then I'm gonna scroll down. I've got some daily habits I always like to prioritize. These are hydration, movement, and meditation. I have a little quote here from Brené Brown. And then in the resources section, this is my area for quick links to pages that relate to my life. For example, I have a recipe book. So if I open this up, I see another database filled with recipes, links to those recipes, tags on the recipes, so I know if they're desserts, if they're vegetarian, if they're a side. Chocolate chip cookie recipe is one that I've tried and loved, and whenever I need to go back to it, I can just click the link and it takes me right there. I can also open the recipe and add in more information, like lower the temperature by 25 degrees, or any other like tweaks I make to the recipe. I can record it here for future reference. Kind of bringing it back to the benefits of a database and organize information like this. If I want to look at just desserts, I can filter by tags and click dessert, and I can see all my dessert recipes that I have here and start picking things through. Next to my recipe book is my media list. This is also a template that I found, and this is a spot for me to record any notes or information for media outside of books that I consume. I don't have much in here yet, but one of the things that I just recently watched was a documentary called Stutz on Netflix, and I had made some notes. So I was able to record those notes here and give it a score out of 5. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I found it a really interesting little documentary for mental health. So that's handy. The thing that I'm really excited about is my home operating manual. This is a template from Tiago, and this is a spot for me to record like everything to do with my apartment. Any apartment projects I have, there's a section for writing appliance details, cleaning routines, etc, etc, etc. I'm really going to be tweaking this as I go. There's not much within this home operating manual yet because I'm going to be filling it in as I find myself needing information so that I'm not wasting a ton of time just adding previous info. But for example, like this appliance detail section, whenever I need to go back to an appliance and find out the product number or warranty information, I'll add it to this section so that it's already ready for me to go. For example, I just bought an air fryer this year, so I'll add that. Date installed, was it October 2022? I'll get the warranty information, blah, 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 and then I can add a new appliance when I need to. Like I said, something I'll slowly be adding to as I need things. I love the cleaning routine section. I want to kind of figure out a cleaning routine for 2023. This is a spot for me to write down what I need to do weekly, monthly, and yearly. I also have this life management manual, and this is one that I'm creating myself. And when I open it, it has this section for me to organize and anything to do with my life. For my physical health, things like my cycle information, dentist, doctor, optometrist, sick history. Like I can record all the appointments I go to, what was discussed at those appointments, when my next appointment is, questions I have for my next appointment. All of that stuff is going to be within these pages. Even for example, like my sick history, which I haven't like created the actual mechanics of it yet though. But let's add a database in here. We'll say sick history. The first column will be for me to write, was it a cold? Was it a flu? Was it a stomach bug? So for example, one of my symptom tags could be fever, congestion, cough, sore throat, nausea. You know, the list can go on and on. Say I had a cold where I was left with a fever and a cough. Then I have record of when I was sick, and I can even open the colds and add in more information about what things I did to feel better, so that in the future, if I have a cold again, I can return to it and see what things I did that really helped. Or this is even history that I can give to my doctor, or if I need it personally, just to see where my health was at in the year. Mental health, I have a section for workouts, meditation resources. So these are things to put down like links for YouTube videos or articles that I think are relevant to those areas. Financial health, so a section for me to write down my payday formula, my budget for 2023, an online orders tracker, because I feel like sometimes, especially during the holiday season, but there are definitely other times in the year where you're putting in online orders and you forget, like you can lose track of them. And I think that's really important for me to keep track of, because sometimes packages don't arrive and it's the worst when you realize, oh, I paid for that thing and that never ended up showing up. A section for birthdays. I've just gotten started on this one, but I have a database currently going on for all my family and friends with their birthday month and the birthday date. Because again, I can open up a friend or family member's name and write down, you know, the year is 2023. What is my gift idea for them for their birthday? What's my budget? And then I can also add in the information of what I actually get them and how much I actually spent. I also want to get better at keeping track of people's emails. So there's a section for me to add in emails for if I ever want to deliver gift cards, e-gift cards. Xmas plans, random to-dos. Like this is going to be a really helpful tool. I think the life management manual is going to be, and that is pretty much what I have in my 2023 dashboard so far. I've customized it a little bit by adding a little image from Pinterest, which is my tip for making anything look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So let's go to my 2023 work dashboard. How do you create a dashboard from scratch? We're gonna work on that today. I'm gonna start off with my 2023 work goals by adding, again, a nice little database in table view called work goals. And my tags here are going to be, are they a general work goal? Are they for YouTube, Instagram, newsletter? I have a Monday morning newsletter if you want to get a little motivation in your inbox every day. Wink wink, nudge nudge, link below. And then I also want a section for multi-select. I'm not going to write down all my work goals, but for example, one of my work goals is to create a digital freebie every quarter. So tag, that is for probably more my newsletter. And then throughout the next few weeks, I can then go in and really make a plan for attack. So maybe I can say, make a table for quarter 1, quarter 2, and figure out what that freebie idea will be. That is the goal section. Accomplishments. So things where I can write down things I'm proud of. I'm going to add a color in the form of green. Again, we'll make it a header. And I want to make this a 2-column situation. So I'm going to drag January right beside accomplishments. And I'm going to drag this under January and this under accomplishments. And now these are ready to be filled in. I'm going to link to a page I already have on my Notion, which is called a content calendar. And again, we'll make it a 2-column situation here. I'm going to link to my paid campaigns and my newsletter, my LTK. If I like the green highlight, let's maybe see if there's something that better matches. Should I go brown? Kind of vibing the brown. Oh, I know one of the things I'm going to want to do that I just want to add here is create a digital vision board on Milano. I know you can do vision boards on Notion, but I really do like the formatting system on Milano and you can export them. So that is one of my general goals for probably January. Create work vision board. One of the templates I actually want to add to this page is a Pomodoro template that I saw here the other day. Where are you? There you are. I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to make some tweaks to the template. I'm going to get rid of this text at the top. What's great is within Notion, I can have a Pomodoro timer where I just start it and I can even write the task that I'm doing. Filming video. I'm going to take 3 of these. As I complete each 25-minute session, it'll say, oh, I've completed 1/3 of the task, 2/3 of the task. I can mark it as complete if I finish early. So cool. It's like a digital productivity planner. Look, they even added music to this section, resources. I'm gonna have to go through this. So I'm going to add that one to my resources. So there you have that. That is my 2023 work dashboard so far, to be continued. That's also my 2023 life dashboard, and I'm going to be using both of these to really help with my goal setting this year, break goals down into small practical steps, track everything, and just keep every area of my life a little bit more streamlined. I will obviously be talking to you more about this as I deep dive more into Notion and use other tools as well to either complement it or take place of it in certain areas. You know, I'm in an exploration year, so I'm exploring all the planning tools out there, and I'm going to be taking you along with me this year. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to tag along. I just feel super excited to be trying out different things in the planning space for 2023. I think I'm ultimately just focused on enjoying the journey rather than the destination. The journey has like its ups and downs, and I want to just have fun and explore within that. I know Notion has been quite popular, so I'm curious to know how many of you have tried it yourself. What has been your experience with it? What do you really love using it for? I'm a newbie to it. I'm only a couple months deep, and I only feel like I'm now kind of figuring out all the complexities of it, which is really fun. And there's still so much more to explore, especially with these databases. I think there's more I can have fun with. If you want to see more Notion videos in the future related to budgeting, if you want to see me create templates that I can then pass on to you, you know, whatever it is that you're kind of curious about, I'm curious about too. Leave it in the comments. I do want to end the video though by saying that if this kind of felt intimidating and very laborious, it is so much fun once you get into it. And if you just put on like your favorite TV show or a podcast in the background, you'll be surprised how you just kind of fall into the organization of it all. It really did feel like one of my journaling sessions that I would do all the time with my bullet journal. I was just like deep into it while I was creating these pages. I'll see you all very soon with the next one. Lots more organization, productivity, planning goodness to come this year. Get ready. Okay, toodles guys.